Hello and welcome to another episode. I am Brian, the Unskilled Commander. This is match 2 of my Commander Damage pod. We've got Obeka Splitter of Seconds, the Third Doctor, Kemba Ka Regent, and me the Immortal. First game we saw Kemba and me the Immortal go off great. Right in the beginning, Third Doctor came up really fast after that. Obeka was really slow in terms of getting lands, and it looks like we're heading that way again today. However, Obeka won, which is crazy. This time around, Obeka got to go first, but as I said, we're kind of not getting many lands. So what we've done so far, we've taken the first 3 turns as always to help speed things along. We got 3 lands out. Fountain of Renewal, which is an artifact that says at the beginning of your upkeep you may gain a life, or you do gain a life, and you can pay 3 and sacrifice it to draw a card. And Dolem Gate, which says prevent all combat damage that will be dealt to attacking creatures you control. We're moving on to turn 4. We're going to untap, upkeep. We get to gain a life because we said so, and draw a card. Yep, not a land. I need to apparently adjust the amount of lands in this deck, which is really weird. I thought we had 35 or 36. It shouldn't be this far off, but there you have it, folks. Oh, and I don't even have the right colors to cast what I do have. I don't have any reds. That is very bad. Yeah, we're looking too great, so we're going to pass. But see, that's the exact point of this entire show within the channel, is testing the decks. Even though Obeka, I've played many times before, and she's done decent, as we can see, there's something wrong with the mana base. It's not coming up. Could be a shuffling issue as well, but still, they're just not showing up when they need to be. But this is the second game in a row that she's not getting lands. We're going to untap over here for the Third Doctor, draw for turn, play an island. All we did was play an Arcane Signet and some lands. We're going to tap 4 to play the Third Doctor, a 2/2 with Trample. When it enters, you get to make your choice of a food, clue, or treasure token. I will make a treasure token. And he gets +1/+1 for each non-creature token you control, so he is now a 3/3 with Trample. I don't have any 1-drops, so we will pass. Over to one of my best and favorite decks and oldest decks, Kemba Ka Regent. We were able to play Kemba, of course, on turn 3, and this Lauren Brooch, which is just Trailblazer Boots, one of my absolute favorite equipments. It just gives the equipped creature non-basic land walk. In a Commander game, it's pretty much going to guarantee you get through. Even monocolored decks still run things like Reliquary Tower, Rogue's Passage, things like that. A lot of the hideaways, whatever. So, for the most part, you're going to get through. There are, of course, players and decks that do not put anything except for basics in because of a theme or whatever. Against them, you're out of luck. But how often does that happen? Untap, upkeep, draw. Play a Plains for turn. I am going to actually prep a bit for the future and tap 4 for the Hammer of Nazar. When it enters, or another equipment enters the battlefield under your control, you may attach it to target creature. So I will attach that right to Kemba. Equipped creature gets +2/+0 and has indestructible, which is the really big thing. So now if you want to get rid of Kemba, you need to board wipe, exile it, or bounce it. The reason why I didn't equip the Trailblazer Boots is because we still have 2 opponents that are completely open. So there's no real concern about swinging in. However, the Third Doctor is already gearing up, and we don't really want to leave ourselves open. So I think we will just hang back right now. I will put an extra life dice on this to remember that I have Kemba's trigger. I didn't read that, did I? So Kemba, at the beginning of my upkeep, put a 2/2 white cat creature token onto the battlefield for each equipment on Kemba, and she is a 2/4. And you may be able to see this vaguely, but I have a really cool Modfly altar. Oops, let me turn that around. Modfly altar of Aisha Clan from Outlaw Star as my Kemba, because I love that anime. It's one of my favorites, and Aisha was awesome. So we'll pass. If you don't know Modfly altars, go check them out on social media, Twitter, Instagram, all that. They do incredible artwork altars for Magic cards. They do auctions on stuff a lot of times throughout the year, and they do commissions, open up commissions a couple times a year. Not sponsored. I just love their stuff. I definitely want to get more from them eventually, but that's the only one I have right now. So we move to Me the Immortal. We untap, upkeep, draw, play a land for turn. I will go ahead and tap 2 for Swiftfoot Boots in prepping for whenever Me the Immortal does come out. But unfortunately, that's it, so we're going to pass turn. Over to turn 5. Untap, upkeep, I get to gain a life, and we draw a card. Alright, finally it's a land, but it does enter tapped. Mirage Mesa, I'm going to say red because we need that desperately. And there's nothing else we can do, regrettably. Pass the turn. Back to the Third Doctor. Untap, upkeep, draw for turn. Alright, we're getting a ton of mana over here. I'm going to, again, prep for the future. We're going to tap 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 to play the artifact Bootlegger's Stash. Lands you control say tap, create a treasure token. I only have 1 mana free, Well, technically, I guess I have to, but I'm not going to use that treasure just yet, so we'll pass. See, Kemba could have swung. Untap, upkeep. Now we get some things going because now we're going to make a cat. Then we draw. We're going to play War Room for turn. 1, 2, 3. And play King of the Pride. 2/1. Other cats you control get +2/+1. And then I will go ahead and tap 2 and equip the Trailblazer Boots onto Kemba. So now she has non-basic land walks. So now she can get through on anybody and can't be blocked. And we have blockers for any crackback. So now we will, in fact, go to combat. And you are gaining life, and you also don't have anything going on. So I should swing it here, I guess, because if you activate the Bootlegger's Stash next turn, that will give you immediately 5 treasures, which will buff him up quite a bit. So I suppose the smart move is to come at you. She's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's pretty solid. That's all we can do, though, so we will pass turn. I like this matchup between these. While Kemba does seem to have a slight advantage in terms of, like, she is literally my oldest deck, and I've tuned her the most. I think her and Immodane have probably been the most tuned of all my decks. So she does have a slight advantage, but we saw she lost last game, so it's not like she's infallible. But we're going to untap, upkeep, draw for turn. I will play Tyrite Sanctum over here. 1, 2, and play Armory of Eros. Equipment. Equipped creature gets, whenever equipped creature attacks, put a +1/+1 counter on it, and pay 2 to equip it. See, the problem is we're not getting any mana rocks or anything else, so now me, the Immortal, is going to be on turn 5. Wait, that was turn 5. Why did I miss a land drop? I had lands in my hand. Oh, hang on. My apologies. There's absolutely no reason why I would have not had enough mana. Actually, so that means we would have played the Temple last time, and we will play Temple of the False Gods now. Because I have a land in my hand, and I drew Temple of the False Gods, so I absolutely had... I didn't draw extra cards last turn, so we've had these lands. So I must have just not played it. Now, obviously, you're in a game. Tough luck. You know, you didn't play it. It's on you. You know what? That's true. I'm being too forgiving on myself. That is my problem. So I missed. So there you go. We're a turn behind. So we'll pass. Untap, upkeep, gain a life, draw a card. We now have enough mana to at least cast Obeka, Splitter of Seconds. She's a 2/5 with Menace, and whenever she deals combat damage to a player, you get that many additional upkeep steps after this phase. That is great if we can get the life gain going and stuff like that. Now, it depends on what happens. Like, I think we're going to be able to play Medium Moral next turn, but that'll be it. So Obeka has Menace, so she can definitely get in over here, if not even over there as well. So we'll see what happens. Pass turn. I don't know. It's fun. It's going to be funny if Obeka wins again, especially with the bad land start twice in a row. Now, so then that says, well, am I ignoring her? I don't believe so, because she didn't do anything. She's literally got nothing on the field. Okay, oh, cool. She gains 1 life every upkeep, and she doesn't have Obeka out. She's not doing damage. Now that could get her a decent amount of life, theoretically, but still, she's going to get 2 extra upkeep. So, okay, she's going to gain 2 extra life. Whoop-de-doo. If she had something out that was damaging to the opponents, that would be taking notice of. But we've got these 2 going off. This is something we got to concern ourselves with. So untap, upkeep, draw. We're going to play a land for turn. And then, yes, the smart thing is to tap all the lands to make 6 treasures, giving us 7 total. And then making the 3rd Doctor a 9/9 with trample. Now, Kemba is unblockable and probably going to continue to get bigger. So leaving the Doctor up to block is unnecessary. We've already established that we know Obeka can get in over there no matter what happens, because they're going to play their commander. So we might as well swing the 3rd Doctor at you. So 9/9 with trample, that's 9 commander. We don't want to take that. So we definitely want to throw the cat under there, dropping it down to 7. If we use this cat, its toughness is 1, we would only stop 1 thing. So we might as well just take the 7. So that means 2 more full hits of 7, and Kemba's out. So she's going to have to focus on the Doctor. But that is all we can do. We could crack the treasures to do stuff on our second main phase to maybe throw out, like, we only have 1 creature, and it's a good creature, but it's not really something I would want to throw out just yet. Yeah, you know what? That is something we will do. That's smart. We're going to use 4 of the treasures down to 3 to cast Irenicus's Vile Duplication. Create a token that's a copy of target creature you control, except the token has flying and isn't legendary if that creature is legendary. So it comes in as a copy. Well, create a token of the Doctor. When it enters the battlefield, it makes a treasure token. So we did lose a little bit, but we have a blocker, which is the point. We now have a 6/6 blocker, so that's something. Although, as we've established, Kemba is unblockable, Whatever. Pass turn. And I'm also stupid. I could have used the Arcane Signet and saved one of the treasures, but again, I'm going too fast, trying to keep the game super short because I know the decks and I'm not taking a breath, which I will have to start doing. We untap over here, upkeep, we're going to make 2 cats, and then draw a card for turn. Play a Plains. Tapping 3 for Nettlecyst, living weapon. When it enters, it's going to make a little 0/0, I think, and then equipped creature gets +1/+1 for each artifact and or equipment or enchantment you control. But I'm going to pay 2 to remove it and put it onto Kemba. So now she's going to get +3/+3. It would be better if I had some mana rocks out, but don't have any right now. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. She is now a 9/9 commander that is unblockable. Go to combat, swing 9 at you. One more hit and you're done. So you have to take out Kemba this turn. I don't know that you're going to be capable of that. So we're going to pass turn. And then, of course, me, the Immortal, and Obeka are kind of just like, well, crap. We got to figure out something. Untap, upkeep, draw. Now I play the Temple of the False Gods. I go blue, green, red, tap the temple for 2 more to play me, the Immortal. She is a 3/3 that says at the beginning of combat on your turn, put your choice of a +1/+1 or a first strike, vigilance, or menace counter on me, the Immortal. Counters remain on her regardless of where she moves, except for the library in your hand, but you can pretty much choose to put her in the command zone no matter what to keep the counters on her. Going to tap 1 and then put the Swiftfoot Boots on her so that she has hexproof and haste. Then I'm going to move to the beginning of combat, giving her a vigilance counter. So I can swing her a 3/3 somewhere. However, there's no good attacks and there's no real point. We're going to go ahead and move, or pass turn, to turn 6, hopefully. Untap over here, upkeep, I'm going to gain a life. Draw a card. Hey, it's a mountain. That's pretty cool. I need that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to play Vestner's Journal. You have no maximum hand size. At the beginning of your upkeep, you gain 1 life for each card in your hand. So hey, we got the life gain going for us. Although against commander damage, that doesn't matter, but it's fine. And also, we're going to leave ourselves wide open if we do swing, but I want to do something. So we're going to swing Obeka. Actually, we could do it either one, but you're getting slammed by that. So we're going to swing Obeka at you. She's menace. You can't block it. You're going to take 2 commander damage. However, that means we are going to get 2 more upkeeps. So we're going to gain 2 life off of this. 1, 2, and then I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in my hand. We're going to gain 12. So that's pretty sweet in a normal game. Everyone's like, oh, you just gained that much life, did you? And Obeka's like, ah, shit. I should have waited until I had something that damaged you guys. Yeah, you should have. Well, I just wanted to play something. So we're going to pass. We're going to untap, upkeep, draw for turn, play another land. Now let's see. What do we got? She's only got 7 damage from... we cannot do 14 damage in one shot. Oh my gosh. Becky, look at her board state. Which is actually the name I gave Obeka in the Moxfield. It's like, oh my god, Becky, look at her upkeep. So if I could just have 1 more treasure, the third doctor could... oh no, there's blockers. Never mind, it doesn't matter. Because if I tap all of these to make another 7 treasures, that's 11, 12, 13, 14 damage would kill her. But like I said, she's got more than enough blockers to take that down. So I'm not really sure if there's anything to do. I don't have any interaction right now. So I can tap 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to play Kappa Cannoneer, Blastoise, 4/4 with Improvise. Your artifacts can help. Each artifact you tap. I could tap the treasures without sacrificing them to, I guess that would be the smart move. So we can tap those in the Arcane Signet, making 5, and then the island to play him. It doesn't really matter because all we can do then, he has Ward 4. Whenever an artifact enters the battlefield under your control, put a counter on him and he can't be blocked. So we can tap 3 for a Nuka-Cola vending machine. So yeah, he'd get a counter, but he doesn't have haste, it doesn't matter. And then can tap 3 for a Commander Sphere, put another counter on it. It doesn't help. And currently the third Doctor and the copy are both just 6/6s with trample. Impressive, but there's nothing that's not going to do anything. And again, it's the exact same position as game 1, where the third Doctor can attack. Oh, actually, it's not, because the last time, if the third Doctor swung out, he could kill Kemba, but this time he can't. He could force her to sacrifice a couple creatures, but even then, she could theoretically let the 12 damage go through, but that would make her rather vulnerable to everybody else. So She would probably block with those 2 cats, take a little less damage. So I don't really see the point in swinging anywhere. But I guess you got to go out. You do have to go out swinging in life, don't you? So we will swing both of them. 2 6/6s at you. You'll block, double block the 3rd Doctor. These will both die. You'll take 2 Commander. Oops. Oh, no. And then another 6. But regrettably, there's nothing we can do, so we will pass. We untap. We make 3 cats now. Draw for turn. It's another plains. Okay, we're getting tons of lands over here, but that's fine. Tap 3 for the enchantment Flaming Fist. Commander creatures you own have, whenever this creature attacks, it gains double strike until end of turn. That just guarantees she's now lethal. Or maybe not. Sorry. Artifact or enchantment. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So she's just shy of lethal. But this is the main concern. So yeah, we move to combat. Boom. Kabosh. You are the done. No end step triggers. We're going to pass turn. Untap, upkeep, draw for turn. I'll play Wolf Run. Tapping Temple of the False Gods to play the Armory of Orias, whatever. And then tapping 2 and equipping it. So equipped creature gets, whenever it attacks, it gets a counter on it. Then we'll use 2 mana to cast the creature Duskshell Crawler. A 0/3, when it enters the battlefield, put a counter on target creature. I'm going to put the counter onto Medium Mortal. Each creature you control with a counter on it, a +1/+1 counter on it, has trample. Then we move to combat, and we give her another one. So now she's got Hexproof, Haste, Vigilance, Trample, +2/+2, and when she goes to attack, she will then have an additional counter, which would make her a 6/6. However, she can't get through. She can only get through over here, irrelevant, because we know Kemba is the main threat. So attacking you is just dumb and petty, it really feels like. And in situations like this, not that you need to band together, you don't have to, but what's the point? Okay, cool, I do 6 damage to you. Whoop-de-doo. She's gonna deal, there's probably a way that she's gonna, although in her hand, she doesn't have anything right now, but she can probably just kill us and then kill you. Boom, no problem. So we pass turn. We untap, upkeep. We're going to gain 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 life. Awesome. We draw a card for turn. It is a land. We're going to play the swamp finally. Guess we'll go with the whole life gain thing. We're going to tap for 3 for Luxodon Warhammer, and then tap 3 to equip it to Obeka. So now she's got +3/+0 and has trample and lifelink. So again, the lifelink really doesn't help against commander damage. So swinging over to you, and you actually have 2 creatures, so the menace doesn't work. So now we have to just not do anything. We're going to pass turn. That's the problem with Obeka. The biggest problem versus even the other commanders, she has to get through, otherwise the deck is completely useless. It doesn't do anything. At least with these decks, you can theoretically get other creatures out. You can do things, and that is a detriment to Obeka. We're going to pass turn over to here, as I said. We're then going to make another 3 cats. So we've got 3 that are summoning sick and 3 that are not. We're going to draw for turn. Hey, look at that. We're going to tap, these were untapped. We're going to tap these 3 for our own Luxodon Warhammer, and then tap 3 to equip it. And then that's absolutely going to be Kemba lethal, and now she's going to gain life, because she's going to get +1/+1 for each artifact and enchantment I control, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 double strike when she attacks. So she's absolutely commander damage lethal. She's got no concerns about being blocked, and she's going to gain a crap ton of life. So we're going to swing. So now stopping to think, who truly is a threat? She might be able, Medium Mortal might get a little bit bigger. There's got to be Trailblazer boots in both of those decks, so that could allow her to come back, but it's not going to be lethal. Same with Obeka. Even if Obeka got through, she would just gain a bunch of normal life, but that does not counteract commander damage. So it doesn't. I don't think it matters. But you know what? Obeka did win last time, so we're going to swing, not because she won last time, but because we saw that all it takes is a little bit for her to get through, and she can go crazy. So, and this is match 2. You got to imagine that once you're playing a match of 3, you're going to learn people's decks, and you're going to start to compensate. So Kemba is going to swing 14 unblockable at you. You're going to take 14 commander damage, but it's double strike. You're going to take another 14. You are done. And there you go. We gain 14 doubled to 54 life. And we didn't gain 54 life. We gained up to 54 life. And we're going to go ahead and pass turn. Now, granted, these cats are getting +2/+1, so they are 4 3s that we could have theoretically swung 3 of them, but they wouldn't. One of them would have died, the other one would just get blocked, blah, blah. Next turn, theoretically, we could swing out with 6 of them somewhere, but we don't need to. Pass turn. So at this point in time, it really becomes, what is your top deck? So we're going to untap, upkeep, draw for turn. That isn't horrible, but do we have enough? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We have enough mana, but not the right colors. We're missing a red. I do have an Evolving Wilds I could cast for a red, or, play and then tap sack for a red. However, it would come in tapped, so it still doesn't help the situation. Everything we need has, well, that is a thing. We got to remember that. Okay, so we got a chance. We got some things going. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to tap a blue and a red. I'm going to cast the instant Run for Your Life. It's an instant. We could do it in combat, but whatever. 1 or 2 target creatures each gain haste until end of turn. They can't be blocked this turn except by creatures with haste. Has escape. We're going to target me, the Immortal. So now she can't be blocked. We're going to move to combat. She's going to get a counter. And then we're going to swing, and when she attacks, she gets a counter off of the equipment. So that means she is 7 commander damage. So that's not bad. We have an answer in our hands, if we just remember to use it. And then we pass turn to turn 7-ish. So we untap. We upkeep. We now make 3 more, right? 1, 2, 3, actually 4. So we got 4 Summoning Sickness and 6 Unsummoned Sickness. Draw for turn. Wow, it's another Plains. Yep, those don't help. She is untapped, of course. And so then we're going to move to combat. Wait a second. What is the War Room? So yeah, I'm going to tap 3 and tap and pay life equal to the number of colors. So I'm going to pay 1 life to draw a card. That's why War Room's in here. Wow, it's not a land. Okay. Move to combat. Boom. We're swinging. Oh, you know what? That thing in our hand's not going to help because she can't be blocked. Well, that's it. That's game. I have a Blinding Fog in my hand, but it prevents combat damage to creatures. So I would need to be able to block and then declare a blocker and then say, hey, Blinding Fog, so now you can't assign lethal to the creature, so there's nothing that can trample through. But yeah, Kemba's unblockable. I forgot. So there you go. That is your game. Me, the Immortal, loses at the last second there, sort of, and Kemba, Ka Regent, is your winner. I hope you enjoyed the episode, saw some cool cards that you want to put in your decks. Maybe you want to try your hand at building any one of these. They're all 4 of them are very fun to play. I recommend them. Especially if you like commander damage and the concept of it. You just have to make sure that they have protection. Obviously, my decks don't run a ton of interaction, so I wasn't trying to Swords to Plowshares anybody. Now, that is, of course, in here, and nobody else has white, but they do have targeted removal. I have a bunch of destruction spells in, both of these because they have black, some stuff in the, bouncing and whatever, returning to your hand in the blue. I just didn't draw into them. And like I said, I don't have a ton, because that's not how I like to play. Other people do, so you gotta be careful. You'll be recasting your commanders a billion times, and at some point they become too expensive to recast. But thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe, throw some likes around. Check out my other social medias. The link is in the description. So check out TikTok and stuff. I do comedy skits. I do all kinds of fun stuff. And I will see you next time.